Welcome to Muscle Maintenance with In Shape Fitness. I am Kim Watkins, your trainer out of New York City, and this is the workout you're going to have for Tuesday, February 5th. It is a level 2 workout. We're building a little bit of difficulty, layering on the difficulty from the fundamentals that we introduced yesterday. And I got to say, of the workouts that we've been doing, and we're coming up on about 8 months of doing 5 workouts a week with this muscle maintenance format, this week might be one of my favorites. It might be my favorite, in fact, because we're getting into some different positions, doing some different things, and I'm challenging myself as a programmer and hoping that you're really enjoying how you feel when you do this type of movement. 15 minutes, we're going to do 2 warm-up moves, just like yesterday, and we're going to do 2 sets of our 6 moves for the week. The first set instructional, a little slower. I'll guide you through every single iota of precision and movement control that you need to focus on, and then we'll take a short break, and then we'll do the flow set where you work through each of the 6 moves without stopping, 30 seconds each. So go ahead and stand up for me. Get your shoulders back, tuck in that tailbone, work on your ab crunching, sort of isolation of the abdominal muscles, really squeeze those muscles, and let's do a standing bicycle. So extend your arms up over your head, making a big X with double shoulder width apart feet, and bring your left elbow together with your right knee up in front of your body, squeeze, then stretch back out to the X, and then with the alternate right elbow and the left knee. 30 seconds is going. Breathe. The purpose of this warm-up obviously is to get the blood flowing, get the development of your breathing pattern underway. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Really take in that air and make sure that you breathe deeply and in a controlled way through your mouth. You've got 5 more seconds. Very good, very good. You're doing great. You also want to warm up all those major muscle groups. So we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. You'll get a full body workout in this short period of time. Definitely a free pass to get out of going to the gym today. Okay, now keep your feet in the same position. Make sure your toes don't turn out. Clasp your hands above your head and then rotate down to the right, grazing the floor with your fingertips. Feel that stretch in your lower back. Lift up to the left, making a big circle. Hinging at your hips, keeping your back straight. Don't round over with your spine. You really want to keep a straight back. One more time, down to the right, up to the left, then switch directions, down to the left. Take your time, by the way. I'm speaking quickly, but only because I need to get out as many things as I can in terms of the specific instructions. It's very important for you to listen to the cues I give you in terms of how you distribute your body weight, where you press into the floor, where you move with a certain speed and take certain forms. So just listen up, relax. We're getting ready to start. The first move is a slow squat. So we're going to sit a little farther down than we did yesterday from that modified sort of partial squat and go all the way into a squat, but really move with slow control. So in 30 seconds, theoretically, you're only going to do 6, maybe 7 squats. So separate your feet shoulder width apart. Make sure your toes don't turn out. Your heels need to be as wide as your toes. And now you're going to extend your arms out in front of your body for balance. Sit down and back into an imaginary chair. Don't let your knees go past the tips of your toes. Keep your back straight. Time starts now. Take your time inhaling on the way down, exhaling as you lift back up. And as you lift up, make sure you press your heels into the floor and squeeze your butt cheeks. Really, really give them a good squeeze, especially at the very tippy top where your hip flexors are fully extended and you kind of give yourself a little pelvic thrust even, just to make sure that your pelvis is completely vertical. And back into the squat. You've got 5 seconds left. See how fast this goes? Really want to take it slow. And you'll get to do it again in just a little bit. Okay, now bring your feet together, heels together rather, toes out, ballet. A little ballet, first position ballet with a heel lift is what we're going to do today. So keep your hands on your hips for now. Extend your toes out as wide as you can, and I'll be reminding you to try to extend them out a little bit more every a couple of times through the 30 seconds. You're going to slowly lift up your heels and then slowly return them to the floor. And that control part, the slowly, is operative in terms of movement here. You really want to control everything. Okay, let's start the time now. Take a deep breath in. Just relax. Keep your abs really tight here. Keep the tailbone tucked in. This is an amazingly perfect time for Kegels. I talk about this all the time, but a lot of my listeners are women. I know you are, and I'm a woman, and I've had a baby, and the truth is nothing, no single solitary thing will get you farther than having a continual repetitive pattern of adding Kegels to your exercise routines. The pelvic floor needs to be tightened and maintained in that tightened sort of format. And you're done. I'll get off my soapbox about Kegels. Okay, now you're going to put your hands on the floor and walk yourself out to pike position. So your butt's in the air. You're making basically a triangle with the floor. Your upper body is one leg of the triangle, and your legs are your other leg of the triangle. And you're going to kick your right heel up to the right butt cheek, if you will, and then return it to the floor. Then kick the left heel up, and you really want to try to kick the butt, really like touch the butt. But if you can't, if your range of motion through your quad is not sufficient enough to kick your actual butt, then just slowly and in a controlled way kick your legs all the way back as far as they go. Okay, let's start the time now. That's all you're doing. You're breathing. You're not going to feel your abs engage too much in this particular pike plank sort of format, if you will, because your butt needs to be down in order for all of those muscles in your abs to engage. But you are getting really good stretch through your shoulders and through your hamstrings. And of course, you're forcing the body to work in a weird way to distribute blood throughout. So that's the aerobic component. And you've got 5 more seconds, so keep it going. I don't want you to get out of this position. You're going to stay right there. We're going to do another pike squat, which is what we did yesterday, where you're in this pike position, your butt is in the air, and you bend your knees so that your knees get closer to the floor. Your body obviously lowers down as your knees get closer to the floor. But this time, as you straighten your knees, you're going to do a little hop at the top. Okay? Just a tiny one. Land lightly on the balls of your feet. Let's start the time now, 30 seconds. This will get your heart rate up. I was just doing them in my pajamas as well, which hopefully you're in your pajamas. As you know, I totally think that it's, obviously you might do laundry a little bit more, but if you roll out of bed and before you do absolutely anything, I put the coffee on and then I go into my living room and I do a workout every day. And, you know, it's never super long. And I do lots of other things, obviously. I'm a trainer and I run lots of places here in Manhattan where I see clients in person during the day, and I run marathons and all this other stuff. But for the person that's just trying to get by without having to go into a nasty gym, which hopefully that's what you are doing, you can totally do this in your pajamas in the morning before you do anything else. All right. So now you're going to turn your body over onto the floor. We're going to do our hip bridge move today. We're calling this one a ballerina hip bridge, in fact. So put your hands down by your sides. I feel tongue-tied today. Lift your hips up. Just like yesterday, don't turn your toes out. Make sure your feet are solidly on the floor. Now I want you to lift your heels up. 30 seconds. Just hold it. Totally just hold this position. If your hamstrings start to tighten up a little bit, or kind of have a little bit of a spasm, you can lower your heels back down, even lower your hips back down if you need to, and do a little shakeout before you go back into the position. And of course, you're always free to go back to yesterday's move, which was simply the hip bridge, isolated hip bridge. The only thing you don't want to do, and you've only got 6 seconds left, is to distribute all of your body weight in your heel. You don't want your toes to come up. So remember that for next time. And now we're going to do something we call heel taps. So we're starting to we're working the obliques for our crunches this week. Yesterday we did side crunches. Today we're going to do these heel taps. So what you're going to do is you're in the same position that you're in with the hip bridge. Your knees are bent and feet on the floor. Your hands are down by your sides. You're going to crunch up and then laterally extend your right hand down the side of your body on the right side. Touch your right heel with your right fingertips. Then straighten back out, put your head back on the floor, crunch up and around to the left, touch the left heel with your left fingertips. Time starts now. These are called heel taps. Make sure you're exhaling as you come up, and make sure that you're not moving your legs closer to your hands. You still want them to be far enough away that you actually have to crunch in order to make the tag. You've got 10 seconds left. This is the end of the first set too, by the way. You've done a really great job so far. We're at 10 minutes for the workout. We should easily clear the second flow set in 3 or 4 minutes, so get ready. Go ahead and stand on up for me. We'll take a quick break, take a couple of deep breaths, and have a sip of water if you've got one handy. We're going to start the second set in 6 seconds. Go ahead and get your feet into the squat position. We're going to do that slow squat again. Time starts now. Make sure your toes don't turn out. Inhale on your way down. Exhale as you come all the way back up, and make sure you do come all the way back up. Really focus on the control that you have when you change directions. When you get to the bottom, you want to focus on the return. Don't let momentum build. It's amazing how these forces work against your effort. In some ways, gravity and momentum are two forces that are really, really good for us. But in exercise, they're not so good. Okay, let's go to the first position with our heel lift. So you're going to get back into your ballerina position with your feet out wide, toes out wide rather, heels together. And time will start now. Heels up, heels down, heels up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Very slow, very controlled. And get the heels up as high as you can. Stiletto it. Right? 20 seconds. Coming up here in the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Okay. Now we switch positions. So go ahead and get your hands on the floor. Walk out to pike with your butt up in the air, making a triangle with the floor. We'll start the pike kicks in 3 seconds. 2, and go. So this is where you're kicking your heels back, trying to kick your own butt. And breathe. This is just a continual breathe, making sure that you are getting enough breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Take in as much air as you can. Slowly exhale through your mouth as much as you can. Really empty out the diaphragm. Empty out those lungs. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, the pike squat with the hop at the top. That's not the name of that move. It's just called pike squat hops, which is another terrible name. Okay, let's go. Time starts now. Bend the knees. As you straighten the legs, you do a little hop. Good. These are hard. These are pretty darn hard, which tells you that by the time we get to Friday, you're going to be working your tail off with this series. But it's time to push you a little bit, right? I mean, it's February. I've been told that we're going to have an early spring. That's good. All right, turn your body over. 2 more moves. You'll be all set. The ballerina hip bridge is up. Hands down by your sides. Your head's on the floor. Your knees are bent. Your feet are on the floor. Toes and heels in line. Squared off. Up into the bridge and lift your heels. Time starts now. You can do this. Pushing really hard for short intervals is a very, very efficient way to go about maintaining your muscular strength and good flexibility, your aerobic health. That along with a decent diet, a good diet, and an active life. Like you don't sit around watching TV for all of your non-working time. Get out and go for walks and play in the park. And you're done, by the way, on this. Let's do those heel taps one more time. Reach around. Right fingertips to right heel. Time starts now. And the left fingertips up and to the side, to the left for the left tap. Alternate sides, of course. Last couple of seconds. Tomorrow will be the level 3 difficulty for this series. And of course, we'll build from there. Coming up till Friday. I hope you enjoyed this workout. You've done a really great job today. I'm Kim Watkins from InShape Fitness in New York City. You can find more about our team at inshape-fitness.com. On the web, of course. We're on Facebook and Twitter. And we've got lots of great things that we can do in terms of helping you out with your own your customized programming. So just let us know what you'd like from us. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.